Hey everyone, so this is my latest purchase I've just recently got. You can take a few guesses at what it is, but I think most of you will figure it out pretty quick. It's a nice wooden cabinet. Obviously the doors here can open out. It's got a power lead going to it, which looks like original tag about the safety use with it. And it comes with a remote. So as you can see, it's PYE. I believe this is built in New Zealand, although PYE was also in the UK as well. But yeah, we'll start by opening up the doors and seeing what's inside. So it's a television. So this television seems to be in really nice condition. In fact, I don't think it was really used as much at all. The wood is so nice on it, and everything is so clean. Even looking at these controls and that, nothing's been worn off. It's all pretty clean. It's got a speaker down the bottom here. So it's a television. We used to have one exactly the same model, apart from it wasn't the deluxe version in a wooden cabinet when I was younger in the 90s. We had just a basic version of this, same panel and screen and everything, but it just had a standard wooden cabinet with 4 legs on it. Eventually we had the legs removed and put onto a small trolley, which we could then move around for when we wanted to watch something while having dinner and so forth. But this is the deluxe version that comes in the closable cabinet. So yeah, these obviously are great for protecting it, but also it gives it quite a bit of class too. I feel it's quite nice. They fold directly out of the way to the sides. Yeah, but yes, we had the exact same model, apart from it wasn't in the nice cabinet. Our one, we broke the remote on it. Well, might have been broken before I was even born, but this one has a working remote on it that works, and I believe that our television had this is a door here that goes into for the tuning, and that was snapped off as well. I remember it was floating around, but it was never attached to it. But to get into it, you sort of just got to get your finger in here somewhere, and it opens out, and then you got the tuning of the 4 channels that you want to tune in. The same thing I realized way back when we had our one was it's got here VHF and UHF. Now that little switch would have been for this 4th channel, or A, but ours never went to ultra high frequency, and this one doesn't either. Inside I've found that there's a slot where you'd put a cartridge in for an ultra high frequency tuner, but it's not there, and I'm guessing it was something they probably did at the factory that some models obviously didn't have it, some did. Just having a quick look online, and I've found that our local museum here in New Plymouth has one kept. But it does look like it's got glass doors instead of the wooden doors on it. But this one here, it reckons it's from the early 1970s, but I'm not too sure, unless it was been made for quite some time. But yes, quite interesting just being able to find there is another one, although by the looks of it mine's still better condition, just when you look at things like the badge on the TV is a bit more worn out and that, but interesting that they got a similar, unless mine's a slightly older version having the wooden doors. But yeah, So we've got it turned around now. This is the back end of it, and as you can see, you only get our RF plug in the back. There's no AV or anything. Possibly it could be modded. Most likely it can somehow, if I can figure out or find out how to. Otherwise, that's all you got on the back, and the power lead coming out. It's got a sticker here. It was coming off a bit, so I've glued it back on. But it is made in New Zealand. It's got the little logo there. But yes, so I don't know if this model of TV was ever available in the UK, but maybe there was a similar version of it, unless this was only in New Zealand. So unless you do know, it would be really good to share a comment. But all that's holding the back on is just 4 Phillips screws, so I will just pop those off and we'll have a look inside. Right, so I've got the back off. I'm really curious to see if I can figure out when this was made. There must be a date written somewhere. It's got lots of notes or little tick off things where they've signed things off or noted. That might be the serial number or a date. Doesn't really make sense for a date. I'll just have a look in there. It's obviously got a Philips monitor in it. Does that number match that one? No, it doesn't. Maybe that's got a date on it. Sometimes the date's sort of hidden within a serial number. Yeah, it's got one there too. I'll just zoom out a bit so we get a bit better. So there's the flyback. That is the most dangerous part you could touch, so we'll try and stay away from that. Well, we will be. I'm not going anywhere near that. So obviously there is where a speaker can be mounted. So our original one in the 90s, we had a speaker there, but obviously there's a speaker in the base of this. You can see that's where the wires go down into it there, and it would be also running a little lead down to that light that turns on. So over there we've got behind the controls. I can't see anything that's got a date on it, unless anyone can point out something. But I'm guessing this is 1980. By what my mum said, that our original one we got very, very early in 1981 or 2. Now, I was born in 81, so I'm guessing 1980 sometime these would have been made. But no, I just can't see anything. 26 inch. That's quite a good screen size, to be honest. Now I have got this unplugged, so don't go freaking out. Unplugged, and it's sort of been sitting now for a while. I do have arcade machines, and quite often I'll discharge CRTs and that as well, so hopefully we're all good with this one. But it's got the RF lead there. This is where I'm saying on the opposite side of this here, we've got the I'm not actually touching it, it just looks very close. VHF, and there's a cartridge plugged on the other side of this, and then it's got UHF here. So, and there's nothing plugged into it at all. So possibly there was a model that could come out with it plugged in, or you could pay to have it added. I'd have to do a bit of a think about if this could be modded into an AV. There's an RGB there. Somehow I reckon you would. This is pretty straightforward. Audio input. Yeah. Video. I really haven't really looked at this very closely until right now. So actually I think there could be some ways to go to modifying this to run maybe a AV or some kind of mod for it, so you can run newer stuff without having to have a video player attached. But if any of you guys see something, point it out to me, because like I can figure this stuff out, but it just takes me a bit of time and a bit of research. I love doing a bit of research. So to get into servicing this, there's got a clip here at the top, and I think there's one down the bottom here. So to get into these, you have to pop that clip up, pop this one down. I might have to redo. Oh no, I got it. And then this. Alright, for some reason it maxed out on recording. I've never actually had problems recording with this, so. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Well, I was just opening this up so we could have a look in behind. So I'm going to be really careful with this. It's a bit dusty, and what I might do is give this a good clean out at some stage. So this is where the flyback runs along the top there, up, behind, and then into the screen. This is the cartridges I'm talking about when I'm saying about the VHF and the UHF. So there's a slot there where you got the silver one here, and then there's a gap right there that's missing. And when you look at the opposite side, it says the UHF. I think when you pull it out, you can see it written there somewhere too. So somehow you can probably get a little cartridge that you can pull out, plug into the other side of this. As you can see, it's got a little grey screw there that's sort of holding this one in, but nothing on the opposite side. So yeah, like I don't know how that worked. I'm guessing that you just installed it, and then suddenly maybe that channel A had the option for UHF. Otherwise, we've got still pretty much the standard stuff. Oh, trying to focus. But yeah. So this is the other side. There's the RGB sound. What is this for? I can't tell. I'm not really too sure what that's for. Runs to the neck. So unless someone can tell me what that's about, I can do some research, I guess. But yeah, I really want to give this a good clean. It would definitely make it last a lot longer. So just having a look in here again. So we've got the neck and the back of the yoke for the monitor or the screen. Again, I'm not seeing anything written for date-wise on this. If we really need, I could work something out on when it was made. It's also got a little, what is that? Oh, that's for, I think you can discharge this, use that. Oh yeah, you can use that for discharging by the looks of it, than having to use your own tool. I guess that's right. You unclip it from there and stick it under. Don't think I'm going to try it, but that's really neat. There's the power supply. And yeah, those controls over there. Yeah, so that just clips carefully because I really don't want to break this. Clips back in again. Some of these are hanging out. There we go. There we go. Everything's back in. Oh, I see. Some of these are popped out. I've got some clips that hold on to the cables, but everything's good. So let's turn it around again, put it back together, and I'll switch it on and play a game on it for a moment. Yeah. Right, just as a bonus, while we're actually having a look, I decided we'd actually pop off the back of the cover for the speaker box area. And as you can see, that's obviously where it runs to that little red light for the front. There's no actual holes in the front for any other speakers apart from this one here. So let's just see if I can have a close look at that. That's a PYE speaker. Just see if I can read 8 ohm. It's in really nice condition. Really clean. Everything on this is just so nice. It's got some caster wheels there that you can roll it around on. So pretty straightforward for the back, but yes, it's got a little separation here for those wires going down to the light, but otherwise, yeah, really nice. I'll put the back on now. Right, so we're back to the front again, ready to play a game on my Mega Drive here. This runs on the VHF frequency, where most of them are UHF, but it's just neat that I can use it on this. My mum came up and visited the other day, and I showed her this, and she said yes, she remembers the TV, and she said, funnily enough, that when she went to buy our original one, she actually wanted this model of TV, but there wasn't any available at the time, and went on the waiting list and waited and got to the point where she just couldn't be bothered waiting, and just got the standard version of it in the standard cabinet with the legs. But she's not one to be interested in this type of thing, but she was quite fascinated that I'd somehow found one in such perfect condition. Yeah. So I'll just turn it on and I'll just turn this one on here. So, it's starting to rain, but so the sound for it is probably, to be honest, is better than what new TVs are these days. A lot of these new TVs require a soundbar to be bought with them, but this is more than good enough. Pitch is quite good for something that's RF frequency. Actually, it comes up really good. I'll just turn off the light so we can see the picture a bit better. But otherwise, I'll just give it a quick game, just so you can see how clean and what a nice picture it actually comes up with. So yeah, it's got a really nice picture. I guess if I could somehow bypass the RF frequency and get a signal straight in, it would be such a nice picture, so sharp in that. So I've been having probably quite a good game on this lately, playing through a lot of my old games on my console here. Yeah. So that flickering you'll see is obviously the frame rate that doesn't match my camera's frame rate. That's not actually happening in person, just through the camera. Yeah, that speaker is great. Better than what you get on televisions these days. So you got your volume, which turns right down. Brightness, contrast, and colour. Colour, well, you can go from black and white into colour, quite bright colour, but obviously just about there is probably about right. But yeah. So yeah, I didn't pay very much for this at all, this television. Ended up paying $50 New Zealand, and then a friend was able to pick it up for me, which was even better. But yeah, I can't complain about that. I absolutely love it. So clean, not a scratch on it. Yeah. If I can somehow maybe modify it in the future, but if I can't, I'm not going to complain because this is just great. This picture is so clean on it. So yeah. But yeah, I'm just not too sure what year this was made in, but it must be very late 70s or early 80s. There we go. We've got, get that to focus. So power button. There'll be the remote receiver. Channel tone. I think I like it with it switched off, but it gives it a little bit more bass. I don't know if you can hear the difference between that. Auto fine tune. Again, don't really need it on. It's so clean and how it looks. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed having a good look at this television that I've got. I find it very nostalgic, since we used to have one. Our original one we had right up to 2000, and then we ended up trading it in for another television, a lot newer, which is now, we probably got rid of that one about 2 years ago, and that was a CRT as well. My parents really went as long as they could on that, and that was replaced with a Sony television. But yeah, I think if I had known better, maybe I wouldn't have pushed them, or I didn't really push them to get rid of it, but I maybe would have asked or put it aside now, thinking back. But you don't know these things at the time, that when you keep replacing things, you don't know they're going to become hard to find or worth something to some people. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this.